Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. As you can tell, I'm filming in a different part of my room. It's the same room, it's just a different part. It's kind of where like I have a couch and then my bookcase, or my bookshelf, my bookcase, is behind me. I just wanted to try this out, just see how it goes, just a little bit something different. I'm not distracted by putting on my makeup, even though, you know, that's fun too. I just thought I'd try something a little different today. But today we're going to be talking about Charlaine Harris's Sleep Like a Baby. So I just finished this last night, and this is this morning actually. This is another reason I wanted to film it today while it was fresh on my mind. But I had to hurry up and get ready earlier because my husband and I were going somewhere. So I didn't really have time to film while I was getting ready. So hence how this video came about. But anyway, I really enjoyed the book. It's a little bit different than what I've been reading. So this is more of like a cozy mystery rather than like a psychological thriller or a mystery thriller, which is what I've kind of been reading. So something a little bit different. I've actually been reading this series for years now. I think this is like the 12th book in this series. I'll take you through the whole series in a minute. I'll show you all the ones that were in it. But it's a really good series. If you're into cozy mysteries, I would definitely check this one out. Charlaine Harris's writing she's just one of my favorite authors, and I really enjoyed everything that she's put out there. I got started with her on the Sookie Stackhouse novels, which were based on, which True Blood was based on the HBO series. And I was sad to see that go, but I guess it was time for it to go because it was kind of getting a little crazy. But it was such a good series as far as books and the show as well. Just definitely check that out if you haven't. But that's kind of how I discovered Charlaine Harris. And so then I started reading. When I finished the Sookie Stackhouses, I started picking up some of her other books, and this was the next series that I picked up. So it is part of the Aurora Teagarden mysteries. Aurora is a librarian. She's very feisty. She's just a super fun character. I enjoyed reading her throughout this whole little series. Like I said, I think this is like book 12, and she even took a break with this series, and I thought it was over. But then she came out with 2 more books, and this was the one most recently out. Well, it came out last year, I believe it was somewhere around this time, September, October, something like that. And I never picked it up because I kind of got into other books, reading other things. But then if you've been watching my book talks for a little while, you know that I had the Creating & Co. readathon, and one of the books to read was something colorful and with orange on the cover. So that's why I picked this book, because it's beautifully colored, and it has a little orange kitty on the front. So it was perfect for that category. So I picked it up, and I'm glad I did, because I don't know if I would have picked it up anytime soon, just because I wasn't really into cozy mysteries at the time. But it was nice to read something a little bit different, but I'm kind of wanting to go back to my thrillers or my other mysteries, just because I kind of miss the excitement of those. Not that these aren't exciting. These are just a little bit more low-key, I guess. But anyway, back to Aurora. So like I said, she's a librarian. At the beginning of the series, she starts off, you know, just your typical character, low income kind of heroine. Am I saying that right? Heroine? I don't know if I'm saying that right. She loved, and her favorite books to read are mysteries. So let me put that book down because I'm going to swing it all over the place, because I talk with my hands a lot. And like I said, in the beginning of the series, she also is in charge of this mystery book club, I think. There's a name for the book club, but goodness, that's been years since I've read the first book, so I don't really remember the name of the book club. But anyway, she like runs this book club, and they get together once a week, once a month, don't really remember. Well, right in the beginning of the book, of course, there's a murder in the place where they're going to have their book club meeting. So every book, of course, there's like some sort of murder happens, of course. But she gets left. One of her good friends in the first book is an elderly lady named Jane. So she ends up passing in the beginning of the book. No surprise there. Not really a spoiler, but it does have meaning to the first book. She ends up leaving Ro a lot of money, because I don't think she really has any other family members or anything, and she got really close to Ro. I'm saying Ro because if you read the series or you get into the series, Aurora's nickname is Ro, so everybody calls her Ro, and so you're gonna hear me say that a lot. But so Jane leaves Ro a good, nice little fortune, as well as her house, and leaves her sort of like little clues to what's going on and things that lead her to solving this murder that recently happened in their book club. And I think it was somebody in the book club. What I mean. So you go on through the book, through the series, and it's sort of the same thing like that. But Aurora kind of grows with the books. She meets new people. She has just different loves in her life. You know, different things happen on the way. You kind of grow up with her. So you find out in one of the books that she has a stepbrother. On her, it's her dad's son with a different mother, and she kind of ends up sort of taking care of him later on in the series. So that's kind of where we're gonna go with this book. In the most recent book, he was very much a main part of the book. She kind of just started really taking care of him. That's when he sort of moved in with her, and her then boyfriend. They are now married, or well, I think they got married in the previous book, but I won't tell you who, because she has a couple of different love interests in each book. So I'll kind of keep you guessing who she falls in love with, marries, and whatnot. But so in this book, Sleep Like a Baby, obviously, do I want to tell you that part? It's not a big part of Rose. I mean, it's a big part of Rose's life, but it's not really a part of like the book. I guess it, in some consistency, it is part of the book, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. So in the earlier parts of the book, she is told that she will not be able to have children. So she kind of goes throughout her life with knowing this, and you know, not expecting anything, and kind of just makes a life around that theory. Well, she ends up having a baby. So in the last book, she is pregnant for the most part of the book. So in this book, she's had the baby, and so the baby does play a little bit of a role. I mean, you hear about the baby, of course, because she's always tending to the baby, her husband, her brother. She even has to hire like a nanny of some sort to help her, because she gets really, really sick right in the beginning of this book. She comes up with the flu, so and she still has to breastfeed her baby. The baby don't take a bottle, so Aurora has to be able to feed the baby at all times. So anyway, she's very, very ill at one part in the book, and so she hires a nanny. She has hired this nanny before when she first had the baby. So she knows the girl and gets acquainted with her, and so she hires her back to kind of help her out, because she's just down for the count, basically. Well, long story short, one night, her husband's out of town. I'm not going to give you too much information about him, because in case you want to read the series, but he's not home. He's out of town, so it's just her stepbrother, who I believe was in and out that one night. He was with his girlfriend. They were either there, or he was at the girlfriend's house. One of them. I think he was not there at this moment. So it was just her, the babysitter, and the baby. Well, that night, the babysitter ends up going missing, and there's a dead body in the backyard. The dead body is actually someone that was previously stalking Ro because they are or were infatuated with her husband. You'll get the why if you read all about it. And she has attempted to kill Ro in a previous book before. So she's back, and she is, I guess, gonna try to do the same thing while Ro's down. I'm not sure what she's thinking at this point, but she ends up dead in the backyard, and we don't know how it happens, of course, until the very, very end of the book. So it was really fun to read because you got all sorts of kind of action in this one. It just wasn't about who killed this person. I think her name's Tracy Beale. Who killed Tracy, and how does she end up in Ro's backyard? Well, they kind of figure how she ends up in Ro's backyard, but there's so many other different little things. This is what I like about Charlaine Harris. Like, she just throws in these little bitty things that just kind of helps you, or just keeps you interested in the book. So many, I love cozy mysteries, but a lot of cozy mysteries kind of make me just lose interest a little bit in the middle, just because all it is just trying to find who did it, Sometimes it can get interesting, but a lot of times it's just going round and round and round until you finally get to the good stuff, Well, in Charlaine Harris's books, it's always something, and all these little somethings end up to be the main reason of why this character was killed or murdered. So what I mean is, like, just little tidbits, like her husband's sweater goes missing. He thinks he loses his keys. So these are just little tidbits thrown in. And also another little craziness happens. Her father-in-law is in the ICU because he had a massive heart attack. So he is in ICU, so she goes to visit him, and instead of bringing her actual purse, she just brings her diaper bag with her license and her keys to go visit, and her diaper bag ends up to get stolen. And so there's some little action right there, and I think it's that same day, she, when she goes out into the parking lot, when she goes to leave, No, or is it when she comes back? Because they found footage of whoever took her purse and or diaper bag, and so she comes back to the hospital to look at the footage, and some things go down in the parking lot. So all that has meaning to all these little bitty details. There's a character that is in here. Well, I think it's her babysitter. Her babysitter's name is Virginia. I'm kind of skipping all over the place. Virginia has a boyfriend that was in jail. He is paroled right now, just for petty theft. But apparently, he steals a rifle and sells the rifle. So there's an incident with this rifle. So how do I want to say this? So things go down in the hospital parking lot that include this rifle. So there's shootings, I guess. So it's just a little exciting little thing. So you have to figure out, okay, well, what happened to the sweater? What happened to the keys? What's up with this rifle? What? So, and is this boyfriend character am I supposed to be suspicious of him? It's all these little bitty things that just kind of keeps you wanting to, or keeps you interested in the book. There's also her neighbors. She has 2 neighbors that play some roles in the book. They both have dogs. They also kind of play a role. So it's just all sorts of characters and just little bitty things that keep you so invested and trying to decide. I had no clue how this possibly could have panned out. Who murdered this person and why, So it was the ending, and when you get to the ending and you realize who did it and why, you're I would have never came up with that. So it's just brilliant. It really is just brilliant. And sort of at the end, like, you get everything. You know what happened to the keys. You know where the sweater went. You know how Tracy got murdered. You know what happened to Virginia, the babysitter. And you know what's going down with the ex-boyfriend or boyfriend. I'm not sure if he's, I think she broke it off because of like his petty theft. I think he has like a problem with stealing things, and he's kind of in and out of jail with petty theft. So she like broke it off, but yet she's still like in love with him, kind of thing. So I'm not sure where they're at in their relationship. But you get all of that in the end, kind of rolled up into one big happy little bow. And what I like about her books is you don't really know if there's going to be any more to the story, you know. So I don't really know, like, the ending could really be the ending. Like, this could possibly be the last Aurora Teagarden, because it doesn't really give you like any type of cliffhanger or anything. It's just kind of just like, it just kind of ends, but it ends very, very smoothly. It's not like it just like all of a sudden the murder is solved and goodbye. Which I've read books like that before, which, like, I was just like, well, one of my last cozy mysteries, I think it was called A Just Claws. It's another little series that I kind of fell in love with, but the last couple of books, I just haven't really been into it. I think it's the Booktown Mysteries or something like that. But the last book I read, it was good. I enjoyed the book. It took me a little while to read it, because in the middle it was just kind of like, can we get to it? You know, it was just all sorts of little things that really didn't matter, you know, when it came to the end of the book, it was just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And I was like, what just happened? So it was just kind of crazy. But it definitely kind of left me like, okay, there's got to be more to this story. So that series does have another book out. So of course I have to read it, just because it left me hanging so badly. But this one just kind of like wrapped it up. It was all nice and smooth. So you don't know if you're going to get another story from Roe or not. So I really like that about this book. So if you want something different, if you like cozy mysteries, I definitely recommend the series. I'll show you. So like I said, I think this is number 12, but let's go through them. Okay, this is the spot. I'm probably never gonna read this book. I just think it's pretty, so I like to keep it out on my shelf. But this is kind of where I have all my Charlaine Harris's. I have some up on the top, on the upper shelf. So we have, okay, the first book in the Aurora is Real Murders. Then we have A Bone to Pick, 3 Bedrooms, 1 Corpse, The Julius House, Dead Over Heels, A Fool and His Honey, Last Seen Alive, and Poppy Done to Death. So all of these, I thought we were done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're 10. I went a little overboard. So it's just 10 books in the series so far. So there may be more. But then this one came out. This one is, what is this one? All the Little Liars. That was the one that came out before Sleep Like a Baby. All her book covers are so much fun. Let's see if I can get this back in here with one hand. Nope, not going to be able to do it. Okay, we'll put that back up later. But all her little book covers are fun. It's kind of like, it has something, they all have something to do with the murder and like where the murder took place. I don't remember what that one was about. 3 Bedrooms and a Car. Yeah, I remember this one. They found the body. Ro took a stab at being a real estate agent because her mother is a real estate. She has her own real estate company. So she took a stab at it, and she was showing a home, and there was a dead body on the bed in the master bedroom in that book. so little things like that. And like this one, The Julius House, Ro ended up buying a home, and this is the wig of one of the sad souls that were murdered in this book. But they were, the family, the Julius family all went missing. I'm sorry, I can't talk. They all went missing, and this book, and Ro was just fascinated with the story and the house, so she ended up buying the house. So that was a really fun one. Let's see, Dead Over Heels. I don't really remember what that one was about. A Fool and His Honey. Again, I don't remember what that one was about. Last Seen. It's funny how I can remember some of them. And Last Seen Alive. Maybe somewhat. Kind of. No, I don't know. And then Poppy Done to Death. Yeah, don't remember that one either. So yeah, that's them. And then All the Little Liars. This was her stepbrother went missing in this book, and this was one of the items that was found in some tracks in the woods where apparently a car was going through these woods with cemetery. I said cemetery? I'm not sure. But yeah, this was one of the items that they found. So all her covers have like a significance to the story. So it was definitely a fun little read, and I really enjoyed reading it. The only reason it took me a little while to read is just not because I didn't want to read it. I was very much interested in reading. I took my time this morning when I got up. I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this book. I had like 3 chapters left. So I finished it this morning because, one, I wanted to find out about everything because there were so many little things that that you just want to find out about. And then 2, I really wanted to do this video for y'all today. So anyway, so yeah, so that's it. Charlaine Harris, Sleep Like a Baby. Check it out. I'll link it down below. I'll go ahead and link the whole series down below. There's 10 books in the series. Really fun mystery series to read. It also has a show on the Hallmark Channel, the Mystery Channel, and Candace Cameron Bure, I think that's how you say her last name, or Bure, is Aurora Teagarden in the Hallmark movies. So check that out. I'm in love with the little TV series. It does end up kind of being a little bit different from the books, but yet they're still the same, but it's a little bit different. But I'm enjoying them because I love Candace. I just think she's just wonderful. I love her. I adore her. So she's a wonderful Aurora. She plays the part perfectly. And Aurora is just a very fun character, so I think you will enjoy this little mystery. If you like cozy mysteries, check it out. All right, y'all, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. I will, again, have everything linked down below. Come follow me on Instagram, Goodreads, all that good stuff. That'll all be linked down. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this way of filming, give it a thumbs up or let me know in the comments. If you'd rather me doing my makeup while I talk about a book, let me know that too. I'm just kind of playing around. Just thought I'd do this. Like I said, I finished the book today. It was fresh on my mind. So I wanted to film it for y'all, and I just didn't have time this morning while I was getting ready. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.